Hi, History Through Film. This is Miss Corey. Welcome to U2-L1, Intro to Unit 2, Women in U.S. History. That's our new unit. Student learning goals. Students will be able to comprehend the topics we will be covering in the Unit 2, Women in U.S. History unit. Your job, you're going to watch this video, answer the questions that are in blue text. So, first question is about the two movies we are going to watch this unit. So the first movie we're going to watch is A League of Their Own. The second movie we're going to watch is Hidden Figures. So have you seen either of these movies? If you haven't, that's totally fine. I'm just curious if any of you have actually seen any of these. So, A League of Their Own, which I abbreviate to ALOTO through some of the lessons. So, this takes place during World War II. So, many of you are 11th and 12th graders taking this class. There's a few 9th and 10th graders as well. But if you're in 11th or 12th grade, you for sure have learned about World War II in some aspect. So, name two things you know about World War II. I know there's a lot to name. All right, the other movie is Hidden Figures. So this takes place in the 1960s, which is when the era of the civil rights movement is at its peak. It is also the era when the US is competing with the USSR/Soviet Union/Russia for sending spacecrafts into space, also called the space race. So in this movie, we'll see racism, sexism, and segregation in this film. So, name two things you know either about the civil rights movement, segregation, Jim Crow, NASA, or the space race. All right, now let's take a look at the weekly schedules for this course. So, here's the giant calendar. You can find this on Schoology under the Unit 2 folder. So we are going to kind of zoom in and go through all of the lessons that we'll be doing so you know what's coming up. So this unit will be 6 weeks. So the first week, we're going to start off with right here at U2-L1, Intro to Unit 2, Women in U.S. History. Then we have U2-L2, Intro to World War II Video Choice. Then we have U2-L3, Women in World War II reading. That's a primary source reading from like letters that women would send during World War II. Because remember, they didn't have like cell phones or anything back then. So to contact their loved ones overseas, it was all through mail. And then U2-L4, discussion about baseball. That's where you're going to read an article and then answer a question in the discussion just about baseball. It's pretty easy. U2-L5, Intro to the AAGPBL. So the AAGPBL stands for the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. That is the main focus of A League of Their Own. We're going to learn all about that in this lesson. Then we have U2-L6, A Team of Their Own documentary. That will also go into U2-L7. So A Team of Their Own documentary is just a kind of short documentary with interviews of players who actually played in the league. And then you'll just have to answer the questions that pop up on the video. Then for U2-L8, we have AAGPBL, which is the primary source reading. That is a reading from an interview of one of the players that played in the Girls Professional Baseball League. Then we have U2-L9, Baseball Video Choice. That is where you have 4 videos. You only need to watch 2 of them and answer the questions. Then we have U2-L10, Intro to A League of Their Own. That's one of the videos I make. I just kind of go through who the characters are and stuff like that. Then we start to watch A League of Their Own. So that'll do or be a part of U2-L11, L12, L13, and L14. Then we will kind of switch over and start preparing for Hidden Figures. So with U2-L15, we're going to learn about Jim Crow and segregation in the United States. Then we will do U2-L16, Jim Crow of the North, which will also go into U2-L17. So this is a kind of like it's a television program that PBS put together a couple of years ago. It's just talking about how segregation, like typically we think of it like in the South, like in the Southern United States, right? But there was definitely segregation in the North as well. So this specifically talks about segregation in Minnesota. Then we have U2-L18, Intro to Hidden Figures. That's where I'm just going to go through like some of the characters and stuff like that to get you prepped for watching Hidden Figures, which will be U2-L19, L20, L21, L22, and then we will wrap it up with U2-L23, the Real Hidden Figures video choice. That just talks about some of the characters in the movie are real, so it's like the real life Hidden Figures. Then we will end with week 6. So in week 6, I give you the whole week to do the summative. It probably won't take you the whole week, to be honest. So there'll be an introduction video to what the summative is. You need to watch that. And then you can start the Unit 2 summative, which I will also kind of explain quickly today. But before we do that, what questions do you have about the schedule for this unit? And if you don't have any, that's okay. Just type none. All right, so before I let you continue on to U2L2, let's talk through the summative. The reason why I want to talk through the summative is just so that you have an idea of your summative so you can like mentally prepare for what content I will be looking for in your summative. I meant to do this during Unit 1 as well, by the way, but I just didn't have the summative made in time. So sorry about that. So feel free to take notes or write ideas as you go through all these lessons. So when you get to the summative, like you already have your information, like you can just do it super quick. All right, so let's take a look at that summative, shall we? Okay, so when we get towards the summative, there'll be more of an in-depth video, but I'm just gonna kind of skim through what I'm looking for. So for the summative, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make an infographic. An infographic's kind of like a poster, but of course we're totally online, so we have to like do an online version. So that's an infographic. So for this infographic, you're going to choose one woman who is historically significant in the United States. It can't be any of the women that we talked about in the movies or in the lessons or anything. It has to be someone else. And then what you're going to do is on your infographic, you are going to tell me about your historical woman that you chose. And then you're going to give me like a summary of like who the AAGPBL was, the plot line for A League of Their Own, the importance of A League of Their Own, and then a picture, of course. Then with Hidden Figures, you're going to give me like 2 bullet points explaining the history of like Jim Crow or redlining or segregation, 3 bullet points explaining the plot line of Hidden Figures, and then a sentence explaining the importance of Hidden Figures. And then at the very end of your infographic, you are going to make a connection between the woman that you research and the movies we watched. So how does the movie A League of Their Own connect to your historical woman? And how does the movie Hidden Figures connect to your historical woman? And then, yeah, I have all this stuff, but you don't have to worry about that right now. There'll be another video closer to the summative that you'll watch that I will give like the full details of the summative. I just want to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. So as you go through the lessons and like watch the movies and stuff, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I could talk about this, you know. At least that's how I function, and I'm sure some of you function like that too. So, all right, let's go back to that slideshow. All right, so let's wrap this up. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know. And that goes through like all the lessons in this unit. If you ever have questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. Next up, you're going to do U2-L2 Intro to World War II video choice. You must watch video A and answer the questions. Then after that, you can choose one of the other 3 videos to watch and answer the questions about. Well, I hope you enjoy this unit. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.